at it again, and we have another one with Ben Shapiro. Let's dive in.
I feel that regardless of whether you agree with the act or not, someone taking a knee during the national anthem at the beginning of a football game, I believe that if you don't say, okay, I disagree with the act, I don't think it's the right place, I don't think it's the right whatever the case may be, however, I agree with it in so much as I would like to protect that individual's freedom of speech. And my question is, I don't hear, well, you certainly, or a lot of anyone on the conservative side or right side, as you would call it, as someone may call it, defending, saying, okay, look, I don't agree with it, but I agree with that person's freedom of speech in that moment, or utilizing that act.
So it depends on the forum. So this is a...
Once again, I will applaud, and it's crazy that I even have to do this now, but I feel like I do, because I want to call it out where I see it happening, because I feel like it's becoming increasingly more rare. Obviously, this gentleman doesn't agree with what Ben or how Ben feels about the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, but he asked a question. How you feel about the question is irrelevant. He asked a question in a respectful, calm manner. I feel like that has become very, very rare. So I just want to acknowledge when I see it happening. Regardless of how I feel about the question or not, I appreciate people just being respectful and having a human-to-human conversation. All right, now let's jump back into it.
Person's freedom of speech in that moment, or utilizing that act.
So it depends on the forum. So this is a public university. I have a right to speak here, right? There's a difference between that and, for example, DePaul University. So DePaul University is a private university. Last year, I think it was last year, DePaul invited me to speak, or at least some of the students did. The administration said I couldn't, and when I showed up on campus, they threatened to arrest me. I didn't sue the university because they have a right to do that. I think they're wrong, I think they're foolish, but they have a right to do that. Okay. So Colin Kaepernick does not have the right to kneel on the sidelines of a private NFL event. If he wants to kneel in a park, he's more than welcome to do so.
According to who, he doesn't have the right?
Well, he doesn't have the legal right. He can't sue the NFL to force them to...
Oh, sure, he can't sue the NFL, certainly.
So that's the distinction that I'm making. When it comes, like, if Colin Kaepernick were to come here, like right here, you know, and like after the event that we haven't organized, he wants to kneel on the stage all day long, that's totally fine. It's a public university, he can do what he wants. So time, place, and manner restrictions are a thing, and so is private versus public. So I'll defend Colin Kaepernick's right to say whatever the hell he wants in any public area, so long as he's not violating the rights of private property owners to control their property, because they do have rights. Like, he couldn't come into my living room and just kneel on the floor. Having a right to do something does not make it the appropriate or right thing to do. I don't think that kneeling for the national anthem is either smart politics or the right thing to do, because there are certain things that still have to unify us, like the idea the country is based on good foundations.
And I feel like that is no longer true for a lot of young folks. They would rather spit on the flag, burn it, throw it in the trash, all this other stuff, than to be proud that you live in a place where you can speak out against a government that you don't like and not come up missing the next day. A lot of these folks have grown to be so privileged and so cushioned, so coddled, that they have no idea about the atrocities that go on around this planet. Now, I've come across some pretty terrible videos that have happened in other places around this planet. And these videos were recorded pretty recently. And the stuff that I see is just like, wow. It's not perfect here in America. We understand that. We all understand that. The proudest of Americans understand it's not perfect, but no place on earth is. Nowhere. And there's nowhere I'd rather live than here. But as Americans, we live in this box, right? We live in this gated box that no other country can penetrate. Everything that's going on outside of it, unless it directly affects us, it's obsolete. It doesn't even exist. The videos of people who spoke out against their nations getting their, it's a PG way to say this, the people who have spoken out against their governments and have had their brains separated from their body on video. This isn't speculation. This isn't something that can be read. This is on video. People being pumped with lead on the streets for protesting against their government. A lot of these Americans, I don't even know if you can call them Americans anymore. A lot of these individuals who burn the flag and say how America is so terrible of a place, they don't care to see these other things going on in the world and how bad stuff can really be in other countries. All they see is sunshine and rainbows and beaches and sunny days, and that's not reality. Some dark places on this planet. Some very, very dark places that I don't wish on my worst enemy that they have to go there. I forgot which video it was that we were checking out the other day, but the gentleman was talking about if we had open immigration, just anybody could come here, didn't matter, you know, whatever. If you can make it to America, you can come here. Half the planet would come here, and the other half wouldn't come here because they couldn't come here, because their government wouldn't allow them to come here. Now, of course, you'd have outliers who'd say, you know, no, I want to stay in my country, yada, yada, yada. We get that. It's not perfect. We understand that. But for the most part, half this planet would flood in here, which by itself tells you how great America actually is. But the people that live here don't know what's actually happening around this planet. They live in their own little box. And I hope they never have to experience it. But part of me wants to, take our tax dollars and ship them off to Cuba and let them experience that for a little while, then bring them back and ask them, hey, what do you think about it now? But anyway, y'all let me know what you think about all that in the comment section. Let's dive back in.
Still have to unify us, like the idea the country is based on good foundations. And if he wanted to kneel for the national anthem outside a police station, I think that would be a lot more useful for his supposed cause than, taking millions and millions of dollars of contracts from Nike to pretend to be a social justice warrior. I'm very skeptical of Colin Kaepernick. I think there are a lot of people who actually care about these issues and have studied the issues and don't wear socks with pictures of cops as pigs on them.
In regards to Colin Kaepernick and what Ben was saying there at the end, him being skeptical about Colin and this sort of thing, Colin Kaepernick recently had a workout with the Oakland Raiders. Well, they're not in Oakland anymore. I don't remember exactly where the Raiders are located now. I don't believe they're in Oakland anymore, but the Raiders, regardless. And the news that came out of the workout is hilarious. Warren Sapp, who played in the NFL, legend in the NFL, was a very, very good player. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. He had something to say about Colin Kaepernick's workout, and I'll play the audio for you guys. I won't bring the video up, but I got the audio for you. Check this out.
I mean, do you see Kaepernick coming back? I mean, he tried out with the Raiders recently, but I heard the tryout wasn't all that great.
I heard it was a disaster. I heard it was one of the worst workouts ever. I'm one.
That's all I need to play. So this guy, Colin, granted, he hasn't played in the NFL for a while, a long time. Last time we saw Colin, it wasn't great. At one point in time, he was a decent player, though. He did lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl, I believe, against the Baltimore Ravens. Was it that with Ray Lewis, right? For any of my football lovers, let me know in the comment section. I believe that was Colin that was the quarterback for the 49ers. And if I remember right, like the lights shut off in the Super Bowl or something, like the power messed up. But anyway, regardless of that, this guy who supposedly has been working out this whole time, he's staying in shape. He's ready. That's what has been promoted by Colin Kaepernick and his camp. Oh, he's ready to go. All he needs is an opportunity, yada, yada, yada. Well, he got that opportunity, and it was the worst workout ever. So my question would be, all of this money that he's been collecting, and allegedly he received money from the NFL. We don't know how much that settlement was, but so he got money from there. But he's also been getting paid from Nike. And as far as I know, Nike hasn't dropped him. So he's still a Nike athlete. How do they rebrand him now? That is my question. How do they bring Colin back into the fold with Nike and make some money? Because it's all about dollars and cents, right? These companies can, preach this social justice stuff all they want to. But when their companies start tanking and they start losing money and people have to start getting laid off because the company isn't making the money, it all comes back. They all fall in line and realize, okay, I messed up here. I need to be worrying about this bottom line here. And the bottom line is dollars and cents. How is Nike going to make dollars and cents off of somebody who can't even play football? It all falls apart there. I think Colin shouldn't have even taken the workout. He should have just kept saying, you know, he should have kept doing that. Now you actually did the workout, and you had the worst workout ever. Now it's over with for you, buddy. But like I said, hey, I don't know. Maybe Warren Sapp is lying somehow, some kind of way. I doubt it, but y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you guys thought about what Ben had to say in the video. I tend to agree with him. Private property, you know? We all have freedom of speech, and that is something that we all should be protecting for each other. Whether or not we agree with it is irrelevant to the totality of having free speech. That's what it is about. Free speech. People, you know, are able to say what it is that they want to say. But on private property, it's a little bit different. I agree with him. I agree with Ben on that. I think that's cut and dry, pretty simple. But as far as the workout, did you guys hear the same thing that Warren Sapp just said there? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.